Shri Shri Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Srila Gurudev Ki Jai. Koటి Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Vancha Kalpatarubhya Kripa Sindhu Bheva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna everyone. So welcome to this morning session. So please bless me and also please correct me by doing me mistakes that I can deliver the correct message. Hare Krishna everyone. Today is Pongal in South India. So happy Pongal to everyone. Hare Krishna. So we start with Prabhupada Leelamrut. So I'm going to share the screen. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, is it visible?
Yes, Mataji, it is visible.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. So we are reading the chapter 18, Breaking the Ground. Although Carl, Mike, Carl James believed him, they felt that this location was the best fit, and he seemed more comfortable in being a salt marsh known as Stuyvesant Swamp. The Lower East Side first became a slum in the 80s. The Lower East Side had become the most densely populated Jewish ghetto in the world. But in the neck up as Jews from their island poverty are moving in from East Harlem. They and the Negroes from Harlem and Bedford Stuyvesant who arrived next were the new groups who, along with the Poles and Ukrainians, populated the 2 square miles of tenements and crowded streets that formed the Lower East Side slums in the 1960s. Then, only a few years before Prabhupada's arrival, a different kind of slum dweller had appeared on the Lower East Side. Although there have been many sociological and cultural analysis of this phenomenon, it remains ultimately inexplicable why they suddenly came like a vast flock of birds sweeping down or like animals in a great instinctual migration, and why after a few years they vanish. At first, the newcomers were mostly young artists, musicians, and intellectuals similar to hip crowd of Prabhupada's Bowery days. Then came the young middle class dropouts. Because living space was more available and rents were lower than the nearby Greenwich village, they concentrated here on the Lower East Side, which in the parlance of the renting agents became known as the East Village. Many even came without finding a place to live and camped in the hallways of tenements. Drawn by a cheap rent and the promise of bohemian freedom, these young middle class reports, the avant-garde of nationwide youth movement soon to be known in the media as hippies, wandered to the lower east side slums in the living protest against America's good life of materialism. As if responding to an instinctual call, younger teenage runaways joined the older hippies, and following the runaways came the police, counselors, social and welfare workers, youth hostels, and drug counseling centers. On St. Mark's Place, a new commercialism sprang up with head shops, poster shops, record shops, art galleries, and bookstores that carried everything from cigarette papers to hip clothes and psychedelic lightning. The hippies journeyed to the lower east side in full conviction that this was the place to be, just as their immigrant predecessors had done. For the European immigrants of another age, New York Harbor had been the gateway to land of riches and opportunity. As they at last, long last, set their eyes on Manhattan's skyline and the Statue of Liberty. Now, in 1966, American youth thronged to New York City with hopes of their own and feasted on the vision of their newfound mystical land, the Lower East Side slums. Prabhuji, can I stop it here?
Yes,
Hare
Mataji, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So I'm going to share the verse. Is it visible, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. So we are reading the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 25th chapter, the characteristics of King Puranjana, and verse number 7. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narada Uvacha. Bho Prajapate Rajan. Pasun Pasya Dvayadvaye. Samyapitan Jiva Sangam. Krena सहस्रसा नारद उवाच भो प्रजापते राजन् पशून् पश्य त्वयाद्भवे संज्ञापितान् जीवसङ्गान् निर्घ्रेण सहस्रसा नारद उवाच भो प्रजापते राजन् पशून् पश्य त्वयाद्वरे संज्ञापितान् जीवसङ्गान् नेत्रेण सहस्रसा. Hare Krishna. Anybody wants to recite? Please welcome.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji, please.
Naraduvacha, Bho Prajapate Rajan, Oshun Pasha Tayadvari, Samnapitan Jiva Shanghan, Nigrinena Shasrasha. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, I am also trying.
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Narada Uvacha, Bho Prajapate Rajan, Oshun Pasha Tayadvari, Sangyapitan Jiva Shanghan, Nigrinena Sahasrasha. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, please welcome.
Narada Uvacha Bho Prajapati Rajan Poshun Pasya Tvayadvare Sangyapitan Jiva Sanghan Nirghinena Sahasrasah. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I'll try.
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Narada Uvacha Bho Prajapate Rajan Pashun Pashatayadhare Sankhyapitan Jiva Sanghan Nirgrinena Sahasrasaha. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam. I am also trying.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Narada Uvacha Bho Prajapate Rajan Poshun Pasya Tayadhare Shangapita Jivo Shangan Nigrinena Sahasrasah. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So, anybody wants to do the synonyms?
I'll try, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Thank you, Mataji. Narada Uvacha, the great saint Narada replied, Bo, hello. Prajapati, ruler of citizens. Rajan, O king. Pashun, animals. Pashya, please see. Tvaya, by you. Advare, in the sacrifice. Samgya Pitan, killed. Jiva Sangan, groups of animals. Nigrinena, without pity. Sahasrashaha, in thousands. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So, anybody wants to read translation purport?
Hare Krishna, Mataji, I am reading that.
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
The great saint Narada said, O ruler of the citizens, my dear king, please see the sky, those animals which you have sacrificed without compassion and without mercy in the sacrificial arena. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Anybody wants to go through the purport?
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandot Pranam.
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Because animal sacrifice is recommended in the Vedas, there are animal sacrifice in almost all religious rituals. However, one should not be satisfied simply by killing animals according to the direction of the scriptures. One should transcend the ritualistic ceremonies and try to understand the actual truth, the purpose of life. Narad Muni wanted to instruct the king about the real purpose of life and invoke the spirit of renunciation in his heart. Knowledge and the spirit of renunciation, Gyan Vairagya, are the ultimate goal of life. Without knowledge, one cannot become detached from material enjoyment, and without being detached from material enjoyment, one cannot make spiritual advancement. Karmis are generally engaged in sense gratification, and for this end, they are prepared to commit so many sinful activities. Animal sacrifice is but one such sinful activity. Consequently, by his mystic power, Narad Muni showed the king Prachin Barisha the dead animals which he had sacrificed. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmiltamena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Narayanam Namaskrityam Narancheva Narantam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiyate Nashtapraya Subhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Mokam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Gri Yatrupatamaham Vande Sri Gurum Telakaranam Paramanandamadam Sri Chaitanya Chandra Iswaram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I am reading the translation one more time. The great Saint Narada said, O ruler of these citizens, my dear king, please see in the sky those animals which you have sacrificed without compassion and without mercy in the sacrificial arena. So I am stopping the screen. Hare Krishna. So we have been discussing the activities of Rachinambar in before chapter. So the before verses actually in the previous chapter was sung by Lord Shiva, instruction to the Prachetas. So when Prachetas want to do some austerities by his own causeless mercy, so Lord Shiva appeared before them and started instructing. And the important instruction was always engage in the devotional service. So that is so auspicious. So they were actually they were following it, and they started doing all these austerities in that water, the deep water. They were meditating on these instructions. So meantime, when they were meditating on this, meantime, his father, Rachin Bar, he said, he was doing so many fruitive activities. So one side they were performing so much devotional activity, the other side he was doing the fruitive activities. So Narada Muni, as a compassionate sage, so he just appeared, he is going to tell him. So what is the disadvantage of doing the fruitive activities, and he's giving the knowledge for the upliftment of spiritual life. So today we are discussing some points from this verse. This is very, very important words, how we have to away from the material entanglement and especially the killing of animals for this modern age. So in this, Prabhupada also explained so many other important points. Today we'll discuss association of sages. What is the power of the associating with great devotees, pure devotees? What are the fruitive actions? Some examples of fruitive actions. And what is animal sacrifice? Why we can do, why we should not do? Also we'll discuss. And ultimately, what is the goal of life? Also we'll discuss in this. Yeah. So these 4 points focus today. from this verse, from the upper part of the verse. So if you see the Narada Muni, we have seen in many incidents. There are so many incidents that Narada Muni appeared and he has given the transcendental knowledge to so many personalities, great personalities. So anybody want to share Narada Muni association, by Narada Muni association who got enlightened? Can you give some examples, please?
Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj.
Yes, Mataji. Dhruv Maharaj, yeah, Prahlad Maharaj. And
Brigu also.
Vidur.
Yes, Vidur also. Yes.
Mrigari also, Mataji.
Mrugari, yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Nol Kuber Monigriv.
Yeah, yes, Damodara pastime. So here we see, even in the, if you see the Valmiki, before he writes the Ramayana, so he was also, so we know how he delivered Valmiki also, before writing the Valmiki. At the same time, if you see the Vedavyasa, before writing Srimad Bhagavatam, he was also so unhappy, dissatisfaction. That time Narada Muni came and gave the valuable instruction to the Vedavyas. Then he started writing the Srimad Bhagavatam. In this way, whenever he goes, he was uplifting everyone. He gives knowledge, transcendental knowledge, real knowledge to everyone, and they are becoming devotees. So in case of Prahlad Maharaj, in case of Dhruva Maharaj, Mrugari, so they are all actually in cause of something. So Dhruva Maharaj aspiring some kingdom, wealth. So he diverted the path of them. So here also we can see the Prachina Bahasa, he was doing so many fruitive actions. And he didn't know what actually the real life of the aim of the life. So he was doing all these fruitive activities because of sense gratification. So in order to give the knowledge, in order to show mercy on this Prachin Bahasa, Narada is giving the transcendental knowledge. So in the scriptures also it says sadhu sanga sarva sastrai avamatra sadhu sanga sarva siddhihai. So by even second, 1 minute, so if you associate with lava means very minute. So avamatra sadhu sanga, even if you take the presence of the pure devotee, you get advantage. Brahmanda Brahmite Kone Bhagyavan Jiva, Guru Krishna Prasadapaya, Bhaktilata Bija. So the Jiva, living entities are wandering. They're taking so many bodies, wandering from lower to higher planets by their karmic reactions. So they are always engaged in the fruitive actions and they take the birth according to their karma. So by the mercy of Lord, they get to associate with pure devotee. From there, their seed of bhakti starts. So this is so powerful. The association of pure devotee is so important in our life. So in this regard, I just want to narrate a story. So many of you might knowing that. One time Narada Muni went to Vishnu and he asked, I want to know what is the power of association. So Narada Muni, so when he asked to Lord Vishnu, Vishnu said, go to the planet. So there is one insect. So you go and ask that insect. That is the power of association. So he went to that insect in the forest. So he asked, what is the power of? So by seeing Narada Muni, that insect left its body immediately. So Narada Muni, he was so disturbed. Why it is happened? He went again to Vishnu. He asked, why it is happening like that? So this time you go to one butterfly. So you ask, what is the power of association? So he went there. So butterfly also take the dustin of Narada Muni. So left his body. So Narada Muni was so frustrated, that means so disturbed. Why it is happening? So as soon as I came, they are leaving the body. Again he went. So again Vishnu said, go and see one horse. So horse, the same way he went to see the horse. Horse had darshan of Narada Muni, left body. So in the same way, so he was going and going so many times. He went to the cow also afterwards. Cow also left his body. Then he went to Narada Muni, Vishnu Murti. So Vishnu said, this time you go to one newborn baby in the kingdom of. So the king's wife delivered one baby. You go and see that baby. Narada Muni went to see that baby. So that baby, so he was recollecting his previous births. So by seeing Narada Muni, so that baby paid obeisances, he said. So Narada Muni, because of your association, I got this body. So Narada Muni, so it was bewildered. What happened? How come? So before I was an insect, by your darshan I got a better life. So that small insect became again horse. Then I have taken a birth in a can go for a spiritual advancement. I can do the devotion and get realized. So this is the power of association. So wherever Narada Muni goes, so there is a upliftment of spiritual. We can say even pure devotees of Lord, so like Maharajas and senior Vaishnavas. So those who are always engaged in the service of Lord, if they give their presence even for a minute, so we have to grab that opportunity for our upliftment. So that is the power of association. So here there are some other points also discussed about what are the putative actions. When Narada Muni came to that king, Prachinva, the first question he asked in the previous ones, he was asking, why you are doing all these putative actions? So this is not the aim of the life. The real aim of life. So Narada Muni was saying two reasons: to get the happiness and to get rid of the miseries. So anyway, you are not getting these two solutions by doing productive actions. Why you are doing these productive actions? Suppose if you see Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, Bhakti Kanda, so every Kanda has its purpose. So Bhakti means so achieving the Lord. So Jnana Kanda means why you are doing to attain the knowledge. Karma Kanda, productive actions to get the um, results of your actions, to get the sense enjoyment. So that is a purpose. So, but the real aim of life is to get the permanent happiness, get out of the miseries. So we don't want to come again to the pool of miseries. Birth, death, old age, disease like this. We don't want to come back. So that is the real aim of the life. So he was asking the king, why you are. Then king said, so I don't know. I already entangled in that material things. So I cannot understand what is the real purpose of life, what is the real knowledge. Please explain me. So he was requested Narada Muni. So he became just like a student. In the Bhagavad Gita also we can see Arjuna, when he was disturbed by this war, by seeing the kings on the opposite side, he was bewildered and he became a student of Krishna. Then he asked them, so please instruct me. So second chapter, seventh verse. So he said, I am a student. So please instruct me. I'm in confusion. So I don't know what to do. Even though I'm a scholar, I don't know anything. So in the same way, king also asking, I am completely entangled with this. Please explain me. So what are these material activities? In the Rudra Gita also 2.2466 once we studied recently. Lord Shiva is saying, people are so busy, they plan so many things. So they think this material world is permanent. So that they plan so many things. I want to become like this. I want to build houses. I want to buy so many things. They plan so many things. In this planning only, they are so busy. They don't have a time to engage in the devotional service. They don't have a time to think about the Lord. What is the real goal of life? They are so busy. The reason the Lord Shiva was saying that because they are greedy. Atyahara prayasasya. They are always atyahara in the endeavor of earning more and more. They are not satisfied with whatever they want. If they have one house, they want to buy another house. They have one car, they want to buy another car. Like this, they always change things and they always go for more and more. That's why they are busy and they are greedy. Because of that greedy, they are always busy. They don't have a time. That is the material entanglement. So here in the previous verse also, Nardamuni was saying, when the person is so busy with the wife, children, family, and taking care of the family, earning, so that is called material entanglement. So Lord Shiva also saying the same thing. So they don't have a time to do the devotion. They are always busy because that greedy, they are busy. They want more and more. Tyahara prayasasya. So they endeavor more and more. So all this because of ignorance. Because of ignorance. In the 18th chapter, 31 and 32 verses, Lord Krishna says, so because of tamoguna, ignorance, because of ignorance, people, they do these fruitive actions just for without knowing the purpose of the sacrifices, without this purpose of fruitive sacrifices. These fruitive activities, there are so many fruitive activities, just enjoyment. One of the fruitive activities, animal sacrifice. So in animal sacrifice, they enjoy the sense gratification basically. They don't know. In this verse also, Prabhupada says nobody knows why they are doing the animal sacrifice. So there is a two things. It is prescribed in the Vedas. We can do the animal sacrifice. At the same time, we should not do the animal sacrifice. So we have to know the reasons why we can do it, at what circumstances we can do, and what circumstances we cannot do it. So that is explained here. Animal sacrifices. So if you see, there is a verse, I'm going to share it in 11th canto. Just give me a second, please. I'm going to share the words. So anybody like to read the translation? This is the verse from 11th canto, 5th chapter, 13th verse. So we just read the translation.
According to the Vedic injunctions, when wine is offered in sacrificial ceremonies, it is later to be consumed by smelling and not by drinking. Similarly, the sacrificial offering of animals is permitted, but there is no provision for wide-scale animal slaughter. Religious sex life is also permitted, but only in marriage for begetting children, and not for sensuous exploitation of the body. Unfortunately, however, the less intelligent materialists cannot understand that their duties in life should be performed purely on the spiritual platform.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. So here in the third chapter also Krishna says, all sacrifices, whatever sacrifices you are doing, just offer to me. So that is the goal of life. Here also in the translations, so everything is there. It is said in the Vedas, but in a regulated, in a limited way. So even religious sex life also permitted because without that we cannot beget the children. So that's why marriage for the begetting children only permitted, not for the sensual enjoyment. In the same way, animal slaughtering also, they have some reasons. So the reasons are explained here. Can anybody wants to read these two paras for me, please?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, however, has forbidden such animal sacrifice in this age because there are no qualified brahmanas to chant the mantras, and the so-called sacrificial arena becomes an ordinary butcher shop. And in an earlier era, when unscrupulous persons tried to establish that animal killing and meat eating are acceptable by misinterpreting the Vedic sacrifices, Lord Buddha personally appeared and rejected their heinous proposition. This is described by Jayadeva Goswami.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So, can you read the other one, this one also, please?
According to the statement, the Vedas sometimes prescribe animal sacrifice in ritual performance for the satisfaction of Supreme Lord or particular demigod. If, however, one whimsically slaughters animals without rigidly following the Vedic prescriptions, such killing is actual violence and should not be accepted by any intelligent person. If the animal sacrifice is perfectly performed, the sacrificed animal immediately goes to the heavenly planets of the demigods and the forefathers. Therefore, such a sacrifice is not for killing animals, but for demonstrating the potency of Vedic mantras, by the power of which the sacrificed creature is immediately promoted to a higher situation.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So here Prabhupada is explaining the reasons why they perform sacrifice, animal sacrifices especially. In the olden ages, the Brahmanas, they are so powerful. They are qualified to recite those mantras. They have such powerful capacity to recite the mantras. So when they recite the mantras and they offer animals in the sacrifice in the yajna, in the fire, immediately they get the upliftment. They go to higher planets, heavenly planets. Sometimes they go to forefathers. It's for their betterment. So, and also the other reason Prabhupada is explaining is, Prabhupada explaining is, so in order to describe the power of mantras recited by Brahmanas. So in order to show the power of the mantras, Vedic hymns, and also how the animals are uplifted. So because of these reasons, they were performing animal sacrifice, not for other reasons. So in every religion, there is an animal sacrifice. Even Muslims, they perform animal sacrifice only at the masjids, not everywhere. If you do animal sacrifice some other place, that is called butchering. So the butchery. So that means animal slaughtering. So not for the purpose, it is for sense gratification. So even in our culture also, we do sacrifices for demigods. Sometimes they offer the animals for the Durga. So here the Prabhupada is saying the Brahmanas are not qualified to recite those mantras. That's why these mantras are not powerful. They cannot uplift the animal or the heavenly planets, but they are doing for the sense gratification. That is the reason. So why we are doing means for their upliftment in order to demonstrate the power of the Vedic hymns. Those are the reasons. And why we should not do the other one, that is very, very important. So in a previous, after Dwapara Yuga, in 2000, around 2600 years before this, Lord Buddha appeared. So those times, there are so many atheists. They were just taking these words. So animals sacrifice is prescribed in Vedas. They have taken this one and they started slaughtering the animals without any compassion. They were doing for the sense gratification. Too much animal slaughtering was happening that time. So nobody can do anything. The Lord himself came in the form of Buddha to avoid this animal slaughtering, to stop it. Because he knows when the people are doing such a heinous acts, killing the animals, killing the other living entities, their minds are with the ignorance. So when you teach anything with those minds, when they are in the condition of ignorance, they cannot advance spiritually. They cannot they cannot be taken that knowledge immediately because they are in the ignorant condition. That's why God himself appeared as Buddha. So first we have to stop it. So what he did, if you say to people, don't kill animals, but they can say Vedas are there, Vedas only described. So there the argument should be there. That's why Buddha, what he did, ahimsa paramo dharma. So no violence, no animal killing. So if they are arguing, Vedas are saying, so he said no Vedas, don't follow Vedas. So that's why no Vedas, no God. It's called um, Sunyavadi philosophy. Buddhist philosophy is called Vahidism, Sunyavadi, no God, no Vedas. Don't follow them because they are misguiding the Vedas for their sense enjoyment. So Buddha came and he stopped all this nonsense and he said, no God, no Vedas. So slowly they stopped animal killing in the Vedas also. So dangerous Acharya, he came this situation. So Vedas, animal slaughtering, they stopped, everything is fine. But nobody is following the Vedas, what to do? So that time, so Shankaracharya, he came. Shankara philosophy, that is Nirvisesha philosophy. What is Nirvisesha? Visesha means so many forms, so many varieties. Nirvisesha means no. So he, according to this is a Mayavadi philosophy. According to them, the God is there, but there is no form. There is no varieties. So Nirvisesha, Sunyavadi, these two philosophies are avoided by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu later. So that is the reason. So Lord Buddha also in his sorry, I want to share one more thing here. In Jayadeva Ashtapadi also. So Jayadeva, Geta Govinda, ninth one. Jayadeva, he sings like this. Nindasi yajna videraha sruti jatam sadaya hrudaya darsita pasughatam kesavadruta buddha sarira jaya jagadis hare jaya jagadis hare jaya jagadis hare. So here it is saying Sadaya Hridaya Darsita Pasugatam. So Buddha was so compassionate. He was with compassion. He was showing how you have to be compassionate to the other living entities. So that's why he came to stop that. Pasugatam. So animal slaughtering. So because of his compassion, he came and he stopped that. He so made them to stop all these animal slaughterings. And again, Shankaracharya. So animals are in what circumstances? So as long as you are doing all this ahimsa, non-violence, your mind with ignorance, and you cannot uplift in the spiritual things. And also, if you see the four pillars of dharma. So anybody wants to say what are the four pillars of dharma?
That is truthfulness,
Yes,
austerity,
yes,
or mercy or compassion,
yeah,
and then purity,
cleanliness.
cleanliness.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So these are the four pillars. But if you see animal slaughtering, if you are killing animals, if you go to the butcher shop, you see they are cutting meat, every day blood. Can we see cleanliness there? No. So it is disturbing the one pillar of the dharma. No, there is no cleanliness. Everywhere blood. So that is the reason we should not clean. And the other reason, that is merciful, compassion. You are killing the other, you don't have a right to kill other living entity. So if it is possible, you help them to live nicely. If not, don't kill. So that is so unmerciful. So on the grounds of the merciful compassion, these two, it should be prohibited. animal killing. So the two pillars of dharma will be disturbed by animal killing. That is also one of the reason we should not do animal killing. And the last item I want to discuss is what is goal of life? What is the importance of getting this knowledge? What happens by this knowledge? So Nardamani is giving this knowledge to king, and he is saying that by these fruitive actions, at any way you are not going to achieve any perfection. Any perfection means there is no happiness. You are just killing animals. And he's also in this verse, he is showing how the animals, he is so powerful, says he can see everything. So he's showing that king how animals are awaiting for you. If you are killing these animals, so they are awaiting. So in next life, they are going to kill you. In this way, the cycle continues. So you never come out of this cycle. So you are killing them, again they are killing you. So the cycle continues. It never ends. So at one junction, you have to stop that cycle going this. So Narada Muni is showing that all the animals, whatever you are killing, so whatever animals you kill, so they are waiting. So that is not aim of life. The aim of life, at the end, you have to be happy. So you have to get the happiness. How you get that happiness? By attaining the Lord, by attaining the love. That's how happiness. And how you get rid of the miseries. So as long you are in the conditioned stage, you are in the binding stage, you cannot come out of this binding stage as long as you are you go to another bind person. So you have to go another person who is unbound, who is free from all these entanglements. So that is Supreme Personality of Godhead or representative of Lord. So pure devotee of Lord or guru, spiritual masters, they can save your life. So by these productive actions, you just get an entanglement, and also you get the sense gratification. At the end, sense gratification is on the bodily platform, not on the soul platform. So those happiness also, that sense enjoyment also temporary. When you leave the body, that enjoyment will go away. The enjoyment, real enjoyment is the devotion service. So this knowledge is so important attaining. So that's why when Parikshit Maharaj asked Sukadeva Goswami, so what is the purpose of human life when they are living here and when they are leaving the body? So he asked two questions. When they are living means when we are alive and we left the body. What is the duty of human beings? What is the aim of the human beings? What is the goal of the human life? Not fruitive activities, not getting the knowledge, not getting the mystic powers, jnana yoga. So no, so only bhakti yoga. Savaivam, so in the first canto, second chapter, sixth verse, Savaivam, so paro dharma, ato bhakti, eto kshaja. So here it is saying that the surrendering to the Lord, bhakti into the Dokchaja, that means yogis for Krishna. The bhakti towards Krishna is the real purpose of life. So that is apratihata. So haituki, uninterrupted, unmotivated. So that type of bhakti should be done to the Vasudeva. That is the aim of the life. And the other one, the next one, Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita. Janayati Asu Vairagyam. So in this purport also Prabhupada is saying, there is no detachment without knowledge. So why we have to get the knowledge? Somebody says, we know Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, simply chanting and everything. We know that. Why we have to get the knowledge? So that's why in Bhagavad Gita also, Lord Krishna says the Karma Kanda philosophy first, then Bhakti Yoga. At the end, he is giving the knowledge. Knowledge is so important. Without the knowledge, there are chances to fall down. So in the next 13 to 18 chapters, he was giving the modes of goodness. We have to know, we have to understand what is the mode of goodness and what actions to be done in the mode of goodness. Why devotion should be performed in the mode of goodness? Why not passion? Why not ignorance? So that knowledge should be there. And also, what is the divine nature? What is the mnemonic nature? You should understand how you behave. You can understand, okay, these actions are demonic, I should not do. These actions are pleasing Lord, so I have to do these actions. So you come to understand that knowledge is so important. And also he is giving the divisions of faith. So what we are doing, what actions comes under the mode of goodness, what actions comes under passion, what actions comes under ignorance. So this knowledge is so important. And also in third canto 25 and 25 chapter 25 verse, so that is also saying tata prasangvirya sangha. So that means in the association of devotees, we discuss about the Lord. And by discussing what happens, so we always, the pleasing, it gives pleasing to our heart. By hearing the pastimes of Lord in the association of devotees, we get the happiness. By that happiness, all our contaminations will be eliminated. Slowly, anarthas will be eliminated. Then the pure devotional service should be established. So this is the importance of knowledge. That is also goal of life. So understanding the knowledge, understanding about the Lord. So very important. That knowledge, without that knowledge, is because King Prachinabhahi said he is not having that knowledge. That's why he was engaging in that fruitive actions. If he knows that fruitive actions anyway they are not going to give any benefit, he immediately will stop. So in the same way, now in the present age, people are in ignorance. They don't know what to do, what actions are good. So what are the good actions, what are the bad actions? What are actions are pleasing Lord and what actions pleasing us, our senses? We should know that difference. When we know the difference, automatically, so Nirbande Krishna Sambandhe, we do all the actions in related to Krishna only. Because these actions which are meant for the sense gratification will not give any results and any upliftments. We cannot go to higher planets, we cannot achieve, we cannot reach Krishna, we cannot attain Krishna Prema also at the end. So all these um, actions, what we are performing to attain the highest goal, reaching the Lord. So if you are not getting that goal, all this Remaeva Kevalam. So whatever occupations, Varnasama Dharma, so whatever occupations we are doing, so simply waste. It will not produce any result. So that is the goal of life. So goal of life is to please the Lord. So for the devotees, we think in different way. For the common people, the goal of life is just to get the permanent happiness and get out of the miseries. So those are the basic fundamental principles. For advanced devotee, the basic goal of life is to please the Lord and engaging in the devotion service of Lord. That will be possible only by association of devotees, chanting and Sravanam Kirtanam by Navavida Bhakti. So we have to adopt these systems in our life in order to avoid the fruitive actions. So Maya is so powerful. At any time we come across the Maya. So even few devotees, highest exalted devotees, they fall under the Maya. So in order to avoid this Maya material entanglement, so we have to avoid these fruitive actions and take the surrender to the Lord. So that surrenderance gives a permanent happiness, and automatically these are the secondary results. Automatically you get the happiness, automatically you get away from the miseries. You will not come under this material world, birth, death, old age, disease. No. So you will be in the Brahmabhota plan. Brahmabhota prasannatma. Nasochati na kankshati. There is nothing, no lamentation. He is in the prasanna, always happy. So that happiness we have to achieve. So these are the points Uh, so I realized it from this purport. And so as in the purport, it is also saying that restrictions like the prohibitions in the Vedas, there is something prohibited means that's for our good only. We have to take in a positive way. So animal sacrifice is prohibited means we have to take in a positive way. So it is for our good. So in the same way, so marriage life is permitted means we have to take it for only begetting conscious children. So Vedic injunctions are very clear what to do, what to do. If you follow the Vedic injunctions clearly, without knowledge, with proper knowledge, you will achieve results. Otherwise, here also Prabhupada is saying, so you should not follow blindly. Okay, animal sacrifice is prescribed in the Vedas, so we can kill the animals. We can do that without knowing anything. So we don't know why we are doing, we are killing the animals. So that is blind belief. So Prabhupada is saying, don't do like that. With knowledge, you have to do. We should know why we have killing the animals. And certain purpose is there for each and every thing. So in a karma kanda there is a purpose, jnana kanda there is. So for each and everything there is a purpose. You have to know that purpose. So I end the class with small narration. In one time there was one ritualistic function was going in one place. So that person, he was housewarming. So he called pujari, and that pujari was doing all the rituals, yajna, doing all this. They were putting all the ingredients in the yajna. So everybody was sitting and watching that yajna. That time, uh, one the one hen that one hen chicken from the neighbor, he came to that house. That person, he was trying to chase that hen. It is not going, so he disturbing everyone. And what he did, so he put one basket on that hen, so it will not move. It will be at one place. He thought after yajna I will relieve it, so it will go. Now it is disturbing. It is not going anywhere. It's okay. So he kept one basket on the chicken. The whole yajna was done and everything was done. Everybody gone. So next, so he kept that. Why he kept that? Because it is disturbing. There is no way to chase that chicken. Everybody got disturbed. That's why he kept the. So the next generation, they also they were doing the house warming, and they called priest, and they were doing, and they also bring one chicken hen kept under the basket. They thought it is a custom. In the previous, my father also did it. That time he was small boy. He was observing everything. He thought my father kept chicken under the basket. That basket. So it is a custom. I have to do this. So next generation, same thing followed. So at the end, one person asked, why we are so why we didn't see anywhere keeping the chicken under the basket while doing the rituals. Why you kept it? So they said, we don't know. We don't know why we kept it, because my father kept it. So when the father came, so I don't know, my father kept it. Because they are believing blindly. They don't know the custom. They are just following it for the sake of following, not for spiritual upliftment. As Sri Rupa Goswami says in it, not for the spiritual advance, for the sake of following. So they become just casual. That is meaning of blind following. So we should not be like that. We should understand why they are doing, what is the purpose of doing this. Without knowing, without proper knowledge, if you do, you get the results. So by knowing, with knowledge, if you do, so everything will be perfect. Otherwise, it become like a sentiment. It's a blind belief. That's why Prabhupada also warning us, you should understand what actions you are doing before you do. So we take this principle in our life and getting the knowledge about the Lord. So without blindly following or blindly accepting some customs from our generations. So following the scriptures like Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and we understand things and we worship the Lord with our love and devotion. Thank you. I would like to stop here. Please, anything is there you can add or any comments. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pramad. Thank you very much for the very nice class, particularly explain the importance of animal sacrifice and why we should not do it, as clearly mentioned why it is not to be done. Although it is permitted in the Vedas, but Vedas, we have to understand the purpose behind this animal sacrifice. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as you have mentioned, while he was discussing with Kaji, that point came. That he told also that previously the cow sacrifice was permitted, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained, and it is given very clearly in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, chapter 17, verse 164, and where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has clearly told the purpose is to Ashwamedam Gavalambam Sanyasam Palapotrikam Devorena Shutotpatin Kalo Pancham Divorjay. It is mentioned there. Of course, it is taken from Brahma Vaivarta Purana. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was referring to that by telling that the purpose of Yajna at that time was to give new life to an old animal, and the Brahmins were empowered at that time. The mantra was powerful enough to make that change. But nowadays it is not possible. It is not, the Brahmanas are not qualified, so can't do that. So you cannot give, you cannot make sacrifice in that way. Cow sacrifice in particular, he was referring to. And so, in short, the question is, the intention is, we have to know the purpose why you are doing it, and unless you understand it, it becomes just a ritual. As in Bhagavad Gita, in verse 242, I think, yes, Imam Pushpitam Bacha Prabhadanti Abhiveshchito Vedo Vadarata Partho Nanya Dostiti Bhajina Kamatmana Sarva Para Kriya Visheshana Kriya Vishabho Bhogoshurjo Gatim Pratim Bhogoshurjo Prashoktanang Taya Purito Chetesha Vyavasahitmika Buddhi Samadhana Vidyati, where it is told that, and the purpose of Veda, we have to understand the purpose of Veda, why it is introduced. And also in 245 it is clearly stated, Triyuguna Vishaya Vedo Nisto Yuguna Bhavarjuna and Nidando Nitya Shattosto Shema Atmavan. So we have to rise above this thing, because the purpose of Vedas is not to remain in Karma Khanda. In Veda is meant for gradual elevation. So it has meant all these steps. But anything we do in the mode of in any mode, in any of the three modes, that only binds us in this material world, and we have to rise above it. And when we come to this, when we come to the devotional service, that frees us from all the attachment we have, and at the same time, it brings us closer to the God. And it is just like a cycle. The more we move devotional service, the more we get detached from our attachment. We get detachment from material activities, and in this way we approach our goal, and which you have very nicely explained. And thank you very much, Mataji, for that.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for adding all these points. So nice points. Yeah. So if anybody is there, otherwise we conclude, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, it appears there's no anybody wants to say anything, or if we It's not there, then you can conclude, Mother.
Yeah, we can conclude, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Vancha
कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। हर ग्रेस सावित्री माता जी की जय। शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।
Hare
All
Krishna.
glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.